Together, we can help.
The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 62, Saturday sunny with a high near 87, and Sunday partly cloudy with a high around 89. Discover perfection at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit mavericksbeef.com or find them off Lexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. Maverick's Real Roast Beef.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope to help ease you into the weekend. And, it probably was a very long week. And hopefully we can bring a little fun and paranormal to you before you get into Saturday there. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Meanwhile, in Eden Prairie, we have Adam. How are you doing tonight, Adam?
You never have one of those days where you just feel like you keep forgetting something, but you have zero idea what it is? That's the kind of day I'm having.
Well, funny enough, I just had that because I put my notes together for tonight, what I wanted to cover and what we wanted to talk about. And I knew I was forgetting something. And as the music was playing, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to see if we were still in a severe thunderstorm watch, which we are not, but we were earlier in the day. That was going to expire at 11.
Yeah, the most we got here, it was actually one of those go drunk Minnesota, you're home type of moments, because I went outside probably about 5 till 8 after I'd finished my dinner because it sounded like it was raining, but it was bright and sunny outside. So I went outside and bright and sunny, but getting dumped on.
We had rain and we had a couple big cracks of thunder actually, probably mid-afternoon today up in St. Michael, but it was good. It was rain, growing grass, that sort of thing. And, I got the grass cut this week, and it loosely resembles a lawn. So that was kind of fun. I mean, it's not going to last. Obviously, it's going to look like its normal garbagey self very soon, I'm sure, but that's okay. Especially when we get to July and it's I mean, it's been really hot, but when it gets really hot and dry, then it's just going to look like peach fuzz on a peach or something. It's just not going to be pretty. So yeah.
Yeah, my lawnmower needs fed yet again after, let's see, when did I mow? I think I mowed on Memorial Day weekend. And yeah, when I left the house today, knowing it was going to rain, I know I'm going to have to mow on Saturday when I get home from work.
Now, we haven't done a casual Friday in quite some time, actually.
Yeah, it has been a while.
It's been a long time. We've had a lot of different things. I've been every other Friday. I've been over at the Pillsbury Club with Shar, and we've been doing paranormal investigations. And then we've had a couple of holidays and other things. So, if my artwork, that I put together has anything to go by, the last date on it that I had was in April. So, and that could very well be. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I think early May actually we did do one, but it's been a while. It's been a little while.
It has been. I'm trying to. Did we do one in May?
And we might have done like May 8th. We might have done one.
Maybe. I honestly don't remember.
Or was May 8th the first? I think maybe May 8th was the first of the Pillsbury. I don't know. It doesn't matter because we're doing it now.
Our first Festivus on Thursdays.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah. So we got that. Josh in the comments. I love seeing comments already. I love the rain. We have been extreme drought, but had some good downpours. And of course, Joshua is down in the Florida region. So that's, there, of course, especially like in Orlando and stuff, it'll like be the most severe, monsoon ever. And it lasts for like 5 minutes and then it's like gone. And it's like it never happened. It's just crazy down there. Speaking of Joshua, I remember he was watching and listening to our Wednesday episode when we had Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal on. And I just want to comment on how many people wanted to have numerology readings that day. That was incredible. I had people emailing me to comment at ghostboxradio.com to get their readings. It's just absolutely incredible. It's just incredible.
It was great. The extra half-hour runtime afterwards definitely helped, so we could finally actually get through everyone for once on one of those Wednesdays.
Yeah, we did, and yeah, we did the thing that we've been telling people we're going to try to do, because we want to eventually maybe expand the show into more than an hour. And Chad, who over at AM 950, he suggested to me, well, what you do is you do the show, and when you go off the air at 11, you can keep the stream going and keep the show going if you so desire. And we gave it a shot, and it was good. It was really good. We threw Adam a curveball at the last minute, actually. And Chad said to me, it was funny. It's funny that you kind of just threw that onto Moon Girl at the last minute, but he stopped. He goes, I'm sure though you talked about it with her beforehand. No, that didn't happen.
I found out about it via private message, I believe, during the first commercial from the first to second segment. So yeah, Moon Girl was well aware too.
Yeah, everyone was let in at the exact same time. This plan. And it was good. It was really good. Andra says it was really great to be able to hear all the readings. And I love that. I love knowing that people are interested in the readings, even if they're not theirs. You know what I mean? I do like that quite a bit. So that was fun. And so we're going to do more of that sort of thing, hopefully with more advance notice than during the episode. But I can't make promises. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. Let's put it that way. So,
Well, I got nowhere to go tonight, so if you send me a private message about going long, we're fine tonight.
Well, I can't actually, because tomorrow we're taking our class, our paranormal class. When we do our paranormal class, the folks who graduate, and that's a 30 percentile rating of people who actually graduate. No, there's no graduation.
Better than most universities,
right? Exactly. Well, and it's actually you just take it and you go with it. It's a very nice 6-week course, though, and at the end of it, we take the investigators to a location, and they do a paranormal investigation. We're taking them down over in the Montevideo region tomorrow, and they're going to do an overnight at a location. And I can't wait. We've had so many great groups over the last 5 years. We've been doing this. This group, though, is really so in tune. And I really look forward to seeing them all work together, because they were so good in class with each other and stuff. And, it's just like, it's cliche to say, but you kind of have this sort of like, almost like parents sort of feel over them, like, oh, look at them, it's so good, they've grown up so much in the 6 weeks we've had them, but so it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, at least you didn't eat your young like some animals do, so congratulations on that one.
Yeah,
Since you
not
didn't
weird.
say what the location was,
You
are you
noticed that.
blindfolding them and loading them all in a van and just shoving them in a spot and be like, all right, here you go, knife gate of hell?
No, I'm blindfolding them, putting them in the driver's seat, and saying, I'll see you there.
Oh, right. That's even better.
I'll see you there. Follow me. Austin in the comments, who by chance was in the very first paranormal class Shar and I did, the very first, says, wish nothing but the best for the group. Great class and great memories. It is. It's Austin occasionally can still join us for investigations, and more good memories are made. So that's I really like Austin. It's fun, and it's fun investigating, especially with people who just they think about what they want to do, and they give it some really good thoughts. So we'll talk more about that. Before I move on here, I want to quickly say question of the week tonight, and we'll be talking about this in the second segment. So if you want to put your answers, if you want to participate into the comments, feel free to do so now, or you can call in the second segment. The question is, has anyone's loved ones in your life, that is so poorly worded, I gotta fire my assistant. Has anyone's loved one in your life who have passed away visited you lately, whether it's in dreams, messages, finding gifts around the house, or anywhere? Please share. So that's the question. We'll go through that again, and you can put your answer into the comments if you want to take part in it, or you can call in the second segment, 952-946-6205. Now, as we go on here, I want to read, for those who might remember, last July, actually, it might have been late June, I did an episode with FindJody.com, and they are the nonprofit group that is working with the Mason City Police Department over the disappearance of Jody Husentrut, who worked in Mason City as a reporter, and she disappeared. It's going to be 31 years ago. She disappeared, literally no trace. There's never been anything that has been discovered about this case. Really, only thing that you can definitely say happened is that she disappeared, and that's frightening. That's scary, and it's unbelievably sad. So, and if anyone's following this case like I have been, I want to read a new article this week about it. So, a private investigator has reportedly identified a possible suspect in the 3 decades old mystery surrounding the cold case disappearance of an Iowa news anchor. The case began in the early morning hours of June 27th, 1995, when Jody Husentrut did not show up to anchor the local morning news in Mason City, Iowa. Her disappearance sparked a 3 decades long search by authorities that prompted multiple theories surrounding the case, though her body was never been recovered and no one has been charged with the crime. However, private investigator Steve Ridge told Fox 10 that he recently received a tip pointing to a potential suspect in the case. The tipsters was dating a suspect in the case, or person of interest, who eventually, in her presence, confessed, and it came at a very heated moment when the two of them were being tailed by authorities up in Minnesota, Ridge said, according to the outlet. He finally pulled over and he was hitting the steering wheel and said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And finally hit the steering wheel and said, I did it. Ridge did not reveal the identity of the possible suspect or whether the person is still alive, Fox 10 reported. He told the outlet he provided the evidence to the Iowa Department of Criminal Investigations. I was able to conclusively determine that this female informant had a short-term romantic relationship with the subject, Ridge said in a statement to Fox News Digital. I secured and verified photos, handwritten letters, canceled checks, and other items. Ridge added that he would like to award the $100,000 reward to the person who could lead us to Jody's remains. The update comes 2 years after John Vincisi, I think I'm saying that right, the last person to see Husentrude alive and self-described primary person of interest, died before the case could be solved. She always had a concern about being stalked because she is on TV every day and everyone can see her, Vincisi previously said. Jody and I became very good friends, nothing more, nothing less, he reportedly added. We did things as a group with other people, and we just got to know each other a lot, and we liked each other. We had a lot of fun together. It's a father-daughter situation. Vincisi reportedly moved to Arizona and spoke to Ridge several times before his death in 2024. He denied any role in the disappearance of Jody and said he cared very much about her and that he would never possibly hurt her, Ridge said, according to Fox 10. The Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation declined Fox News Digital request for comment. It's pretty incredible. And the thing is, I've always had like an affinity to that case because while she was in Mason City, I was at a small station up in Mankato, KUIC, which is she went to school at Mankato State. And the thing about that is, when I say that, it's not like I felt like I was endangered being a young man working in news, because I was working in news at that point. I was directing newscasts and stuff. What it more was down to, Adam, was the fact that I had a lot of my contemporaries around me who were reporters, young reporters, young lady, women reporters out of college, and we'd go out for happy hours and stuff. And you can kind of see that sort of mentality that that Jody was exactly frightened of. And so, it just is, and I don't think it's probably went away. Jody was a very attractive woman, and it's very, and I just remember the attractive news reporters and newscasters that they were, we'd have people show up at the station wondering if they were around. It was something else. And I also just want to kind of close by saying that I wanted to save this article for today, just because it just felt like I needed to, do this on Friday. Because I didn't want to put a whole show to it or anything, only to realize that today is Jody Husentrude's birthday. She would have been 58 years old today. So it's just a shame. And any time a life is extinguished so early on, but also a shame that that she deserves better than nothing being discovered about what happened to her.
And I honestly hope this leads to somewhere.
I do too.
Because to me, it always seems like every time we get an update on Judy's case, or even if you remember Adam Walsh, who was missing for so long, and then there was a little boy up here in Minnesota who was kidnapped as well. But it always seems like
you talk about Jacob Wetterling.
Yes, but it always seems like updates or new breaks always come within the month, X number of years later, whenever the event took place. And to me, for her family, that's just got to be, oh, great, here comes June again. Here comes another, useless lead. To me hurts more for that family, because every year when June comes around, somebody's going to say something about Judy again.
And the thing is, it's like June, not only her birthday, but the month she was taken. I mean, the only thing I was thinking about, the only thing you can accurately say about all this is that she disappeared. I mean, you can say that that she was abducted, and there's no other way about it. But I think the only thing you could really say 100% is that she disappeared.
Yeah, and 31 years. This is an unbelievable tragedy, and there are people who go missing day in, day out, and every single one of them is the same as Judy. Each one is a tragedy. Jody, I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, no, but your sentiment is, I think you and I agree exactly on that. That it just is very unfortunate that she is that she had missed so much, and she had such a promising career. I mean, there's a great documentary on Hulu about her. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's actually made by Andy and Maria Oz, AWES, and they're local. They're Minnesota. They've worked in the business for a long time. I'm gonna see if I can get Maria on to talk about the making of the documentary. It's too bad. I hope it is. And honestly, I think if Jacob Wetterling's case could be solved, I think anyone's could be, because I actually thought that no one was ever going to find him either again.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was completely gone, and they would never get any closure.
Nope, absolutely. Why don't we go ahead and do this? I just wanted to do an update on that I saw this week. I'm sure many of you had seen that this week. But what I'd like to do is kind of change the tone a little bit when we come back. Let's get back to a little bit more lighter. We have question of the week that will come up. If I will say it again at the beginning of the next segment. Also, we haven't had a Linus sighting in a while. We're going to talk about that as well. So stick around, folks, and we'd like you to continue to participate. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com. Moonstone Minneapolis is a queer-owned, community-focused gift shop in South Minneapolis centered on curiosity, connection, and self-discovery. Explore astrology, tarot, crystals, herbs, mindfulness, and spiritual practices in a welcoming environment for all backgrounds and experience levels. Located at 3304 East Lake Street in Minneapolis, Moonstone Minneapolis also hosts makers markets, classes, and community events. Learn more at moonstoneMPLS.com and discover a welcoming place to explore with curiosity and respect. Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here in GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for easing into the weekend with us. Adam and Greg here, taking you into the weekend. And I wanted to kind of get going here on Question of the Week. But first of all, I want to remind everybody, next week, it's another big week. If you want to go do some paranormal investigating, Thursday, June 11th, Char Savoy and I will be over at Divine Lights in Anoka. Every month we do this. We do our investigation of the store. When I say we mean you. That's the way we'd like to do it, at least, to make sure that you all have an opportunity to experience a paranormal investigation. That will be from 6 to 9 p.m. next Thursday. And it's always a lot of fun. We could see that the interaction has been growing so much ever since we started it about a year ago, and we're always in different parts of the store. It's so much fun to do, and we hope that you come out and experience it, because I think you're going to like it. It's a lot of fun. 6 to 9 p.m. at Divine Lights in Anoka. To get tickets, go to charvinity.com, and there you can go to events and classes on the left-hand side of her website, and you'll be able to see it right there, and you can get the tickets. Now, say that you are like, but Greg, I'd like to do paranormal investigating 2 nights in a row. And who wouldn't, quite frankly? We are going to be over at the Pillsbury Club, the home of the Minneapolis Trolley Tours, on Friday, June 12th. So you can work with us June 11th. You can come out on June 12th as well. That investigation in this absolutely beautiful mansion is from 9 to 11. And once again, I have to stress that the investigation is in, every time we do it's in different rooms. It's a, first of all, it's a mansion, right? It's going to be big. Secondly, they're doing a lot of renovation, and when they open up new areas of the mansion, we're going to be allowed to go in there. You're going to love it. We've done it twice now, and everyone's had a great time. To get tickets for that, and that's June 12th, go to minneapolistrolleytours.com. And you can get tickets for that. And may I suggest get some tickets for the Candlelight Ghost Tours that they do as well, or their True Crime, or their Gilded Mansion Tours. They do a lot of really wonderful, diverse, including Thunder Down Under, if you want to do that. I mean, it has a lot of great stuff going on there. You could say literally something for everybody. So go to minneapolistrolleytours.com, not only to sign up for our investigation, but take part in all the stuff they're doing. They also have a restaurant there now as well. So you want to go check it out. It's going to be fun. So that being said, that's going to be a lot of fun to come on out there and investigate with us. We'd love you to do so. Question of the week. Okay. Has any loved ones in your life who have passed away visited you lately? Like, is there someone in your life that has passed away, but they visited with you, whether it's in dreams, messages, finding gifts around the house, or anywhere? Please share. And a number of you on Facebook have done so. You can if you want to take part, you can put your answers into the comments section, or you can give us a call, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. I thought about this question because I had some wonderful things happen lately. Now, those of you who watched a couple weeks ago, we had psychic medium Jennifer Lee on the program, and I just asked her if she could tell me if there's any spirits in the AM 950 building. And unbeknownst to me, she was going to give me a message from my father, who just so happened this Tuesday was the 11th anniversary of his passing. So it was very timely, and it was very much on track, and it was very much appreciated. And I love that. And I'm so grateful for that. Then a couple days ago, I saw psychic medium Rob Guttrow, who I know I saw that you commented. I know you're here. Rob, I saw that he and Monique Toussoun are coming out with a new book. And I because I love having them on, I reached out to Rob and I said, would you like to come on to promote your new book? And he said, and it's so kind. He said to me, I don't know if I told you, but I actually dedicated the book to you, this new book. There's a section Monique dedicates and then Rob dedicates. And he dedicated the book, which is called Haunting of Wilson Castle. He dedicated the book to me. And that, I mean, that I'm beyond kind. And it just made me so happy. And it was so kind of him to do so. And he had talked about, that especially with Linus coming through to him, and being persistent with messages for me and stuff. And we've talked about this on the program before, and it just was so humbling. And I didn't have a chance to respond at that point. And then the next day, I get this message from Rob, and he said to me, "Hi, Greg. I realized I sent you an old version of the release, excerpt and cover from the Wilson Castle book. This morning, I was wondering why there was a spirit cat around the house, which is unusual because I wasn't doing a reading. It was Linus. He came to me this morning and told me I wrote his name wrong on the excerpt of the Wilson Castle book, and I needed to fix it ASAP and send it to you. So I did that this afternoon. He's pretty sharp, that one. Glad that someone is keeping me in line." And that is, I'm sorry, that's beautiful. It is beautiful. He, for those who see the art I do for the shows every night, I did one of Linus, and there's figures behind him, and some are aliens and some are ghosts and other things. And Linus, I can understand if I'm losing some of you with this. I had that situation earlier this week, but he is more than a cat. He has proven that time and time and time again. And I've had many cats in my life, and I love them all, but none have ever mastered afterlife, and people haven't mastered the afterlife as well as Linus. And if I may, and with permission, I just want to read the dedication real fast because it's very sweet. Rob's dedication with his new book, Haunting of Wilson Castle. Rob's dedication. I dedicate this book to Greg Bakun, a good friend and host of GhostBox Radio. Both Monique and I had the pleasure of talking with Greg about our books, Haunting of Emery Estate and Haunting of Hunt Memorial Library. Both interviews can be found on GhostBox Radio's Facebook and YouTube pages. I've also had the pleasure of speaking with Greg about my other 12 books, including the Ghosts of Medium at a Medium's Vacation series, Pets in the Afterlife series, and Ghosts versus Spirits series. In January of 2025, while I was on a trip, his late cat Linus came through to me with messages for Greg. I contacted him, and we later talked about it on air, one of his shows. It was a very moving experience, and I'm proud to call Greg my friend. And Rob, I'm proud to call you my friend. We've known each other now for, I think, about 10 years, and it's just been beautiful to have this friendship and this relationship. And the fact that Linus chose you to share this is always something. And I tried to explain to somebody earlier this week, and it's tough. Not everyone's into this. I get that, but try to understand if your best friend can come back to you with messages. Can you imagine that? So Adam, that's what I've been up to.
Oh, you've had a busy week.
Yeah. And Rob,
that is amazing, though. That is absolutely amazing. That's a beautiful dedication as well. Thank you, Rob.
It was. And Rob says in the comments, and I'll be sending you a copy of the Wilson Castle book soon. Now, normally I would have Rob on here just to talk about it, but I wanted to get to question of the week. And I told Rob, you know what, let's do it when we talk about the book, or we could do it separately or whatever and talk about it on the air, because I want to hear how that looks and how that feels. And I love that. And I love that Linus keeps him to task, so it was really something. So that is why I wanted to ask the question that we had for question of the week. And once again, question of the week, if I can find it after all this goodness, has anyone's loved ones in your life who have passed away visited you lately, whether it's in dreams, messages, finding gifts around the house, or anywhere? Please share, because I've had 2 this week and I've been blessed, and I was hoping that others would have some as well. Now, taking a look here real fast, Barbara says, my mother and father are at my home all the time. They're also in my dreams very often, along with my husband who has passed. I also find it interesting that people I had worked with are in my dreams and they have all passed. It seems that people who have passed outnumber living persons in my dreams. I might add that these are all very nice dreams. Thank you for that. That's really nice. And that's what I was hoping for. I want to hear good stories. I want to hear really good stories. People, I just want everyone to be, happy, So Andra asked the question, where can we find his books, Rob Guttrow's books? Well, you can find it on GhostBox Radio, GhostBox Book Club, if you would like to help support the show, because every time someone uses the Amazon affiliated link, it does help. But otherwise, you can go get them off of Amazon. Also, if you are someone who's just like, I really want to keep all the local bookstores, we want to make sure they stay open, go in there and see if you can order it. It's also available through all those. But if you go to robguttrow.com, in which you'll have a list of all of his books, or if you go to Amazon and click on him as an author, there should be, I would think, most of his books there as well. Please, that would make my day. Anyone supporting him, because his books are good, and we had a great conversation about Tombstone because we've both been there. So it's a lot of fun. This is what I'd like to do. I know I only got to one answer to question of the week. Let's take a break. When I come back, we're going to finish and get through as many as possible. We have some really good answers tonight, and I've really been enjoying this. It just goes to show how much I've been missing Casual Friday. So don't go anywhere. If you have answers to the question, put it in the comments. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Moonstone Minneapolis is a queer-owned, community-focused gift shop in South Minneapolis centered on curiosity, connection, and self-discovery. Explore astrology, tarot, crystals, herbs, mindfulness, and spiritual practices in a welcoming environment for all backgrounds and experience levels. Located at 3304 East Lake Street in Minneapolis, Moonstone Minneapolis also hosts makers markets, classes, and community events. Learn more at moonstonempls.com and discover a welcoming place to explore with curiosity and respect. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are, but now there's big news. The Kind of Like Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Mavericks has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Mavericks Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And we're easing into the weekend here on GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're having a fun night tonight listening to us. It's always fun doing this. And you can join me on Monday as I'm going to have on the return of author Lynn Monet. We had her on for Omnipresent 2, and now on Monday we're going to have her on for Omnipresent Becca Dawn Drive. This story is filled with true accounts of malevolent forces, demons, ghosts, hoodoo, dark souls, and other worldly forces. So much so that we'll probably get Adam sleeping with the lights on again. So that's the goal. So we're going to see what we can do about that. So now, of course, Adam, you won't be there Monday, but you're going to be with us on Wednesday. And 10 years in the making, I think we might have actually cracked it. We're going to have on Aubrey Graves to talk about Haunted Disneyland.
Let's just hope she doesn't talk about pencils. Number one. But I honestly, that would be so cool. I've heard all kinds of stories coming out of both Disneyland and Disney World of some cool hauntings there. I can't wait to hear this one on Wednesday. This is going to be great.
This should be really good. She's a great person, great author. We're going to have her. We already agreed that we're going to have her on twice to talk about Haunted Disney. So this is going to be great. You do not want to miss that at all. And then Tuesday, actually, we're going to have on author Maxim Furyk. We're talking about his more recent book, The Schmerl Family Haunting. And what's great about it, we did record that today. And he was very kind, and we're getting into the show, and I do an opening, and he's telling everybody, he's like, this is great. I'm so happy to be here. Everything has been running so smooth. And I had to stop him. Like, actually, I forgot to hit record on both devices. So we're going to have to start again. We were 3 minutes into the show, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, we got to start again. So that's what you get for thinking that this is a smooth running machine,
Well, at least it was 3 minutes into the show and not 30.
Yeah, because that's never happened before, right?
Nope, never.
So anyway, moving on from that. So that's going to be good. And then, of course, I'm doing Paranormal Festivus on Thursday. Guess who I have coming on for that?
Who?
Ernie Pack.
Wow, we really are already at the bottom of the barrel on Festivus Thursdays.
It's a stretched idea. Yes, it is.
Well, that should be a good one because of all the years that he spent working with Waverly. I'm sure he's got plenty of horror stories of things you should not do at haunted locations.
And I'm sure with Duffield and stuff too. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Oh my goodness. And especially since that one's out in the open, I can imagine.
Yeah. Nope. So it's going to be a great week. Good week of programming. I'm looking forward to it. Question of the week. Has anyone's loved ones in their lives who have passed away visited you lately, whether it's in dreams, messages, finding gifts around the house or anywhere? Please share. A couple folks put an answer into the comments. Let's see here. Getting there. Danielle says, my mom's in the house. She has shown herself to everyone at least once. So you've seen her then, Adam.
Yeah, actually, both my daughter and I kind of had the same experience at different times, though. Because when my father-in-law moved in after my mother-in-law had passed, both their dogs came to our house. And one of the dogs named Boris, that was Michelle's dog. Absolutely Michelle's dog. And there have been twice, shortly after Bob had moved in and had brought the ashes, that both Morgan and I on separate occasions looked at Boris and we saw Michelle's face there instead of Boris's for like that split second.
Wow. My goodness. Yeah. So then you saw her for sure. That's cool.
Definitely.
Cool.
And then when I told my daughter, she's like, he did the same thing to me.
That's really cool. Andra says, I think my dad is showing me the numbers 444. I've been seeing these numbers so much that I don't think it's a coincidence. You know when it's not. You know what I mean? That's and we talked about that with our guest this week. We talked about basically what resonates. You know, when you know something resonates, what it feels like. Yeah, you know. I know that sometimes it's hard for people to be like, I think that it's not a coincidence. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get some
coincidences that don't have something tied to it that we have figured out over the courses of our lives.
Absolutely. Now, some other answers on Facebook. Mandy says, "OMG, that's great. I can't believe you just asked this. Just this morning when I was doing yoga, I felt my cat, Jezebel, had her for 20 years, walk up to me. I don't know how I knew it was her, but I just felt her. Didn't see or hear anything, just felt her energy and instantly knew she was there. And yes, also have had visitation dreams, felt jumps in the bed and sightings out of the corner of my eye of several past animal family members. So weird you just asked this. This happened like 2 hours ago." That's cool. I'm happy to hear that. Cheryl says, my dog Roscoe, Buddy, sends me dimes all the time. I should ask for $1. No, I'm just kidding. But they will fall from the air. Okay. They will fall from the air and usually appear on the ground on the floor right before my eyes. That's cool. Rick says no. Maybe had a visit from a previous cat, not from mom that I'm aware of, but that would be amazing. I get that. You know, I know my sister would really like to get some kind of visitation from mom, and I don't think she's really had it. So she's really hoping. Let's see here. Melissa says, I've had visits from my wire hair Tucker. He had a distinct chime on his collar, and sometimes I hear it by the front door. Oh. I've also been super worried about my dad after he passed. He showed up in a dream about 6 months ago and told me he was okay. For some reason, I still have a nagging worry about it. I was so happy to have him reach out. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he is. Let's see here. Andy, who I've known Andy from various Paracons, and Andy has a service animal cat. Honestly, Andy, I love your response. It's very long. So unfortunately, I will not be able to read it, but you have talked about sightings that you had and also about your beautiful cat Dapple, who I've met in person. And I still have that picture of me holding Dapple. So that's really sweet. Let's see here. But it is a very long, it's a very long response. And I'm like, sorry, but I love the energy behind it. Dorothy says, in my dream, I was in a meeting and my phone rang. I looked down and it showed my little brother Ed's number. It was really blurry, but somehow I knew it was his number. I answered it and heard his voice. I left the meeting so I could talk to him, but when I stepped out, the call went all staticky and he was gone. I cried. I'm sorry. We did get Ed through the spirit box, so.
Oh, awesome.
Got him once, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again. Annalise says, yep, I get dreams with my dog, Ruth. She's always full of energy. I always ask if someone else is able to see her because I know she's dead, and then I hug her until I wake up. I always ask someone in the dream if she's real, and I always tell them because she's dead. Well, okay. I should do that like when you're around. It's like, can anyone else see Adam?
No, I'm the John Cena of radio. You can't see me.
Well, technically, no one can see us on radio, but
No, that's
yeah.
why. You look really hard into your speakers, like when I was a kid and thought the band was playing.
Right, exactly. They're so small. Let's see. Jeanette says, Greg, we recently see. Is that so much as someone actually says Greg, like they're addressing me and not just this, hey, I just did this. And I'm just kidding. I don't care. Jeanette says, Greg, we recently had put down our Yorkie Mini at nearly 17 years old. And it was such a hard decision. I asked my dog, well, still alive, to send me a sign she was ready. The first dream I had was from a deceased mom of one of my friends. This friend of mine is also a Yorkie mom. And unbeknownst to me, her dog was about to go into surgery. Her mom and dog were in my dreams. Her mother was telling me how she loves and watches over her daughter's Yorkie and that it wasn't time for us to let go of our Yorkie. The second dream was my Yorkie coming upstairs into my bedroom to let me know it was time to let her go and she was spiritually separating from her body, although still alive. At this point, she could no longer climb stairs to come into my room. The third dream was my dog came to me after death along with a beloved dog who passed in the early 2000s. They came to let me know they were happy together. It was beautiful. It is beautiful. And let me tell you something, Jeanette. I was telling about my friend CL who had a picture of her dog and it turned out that I had a picture of, or not a picture, a dream of Linus with her dog. And this was before I saw the picture. And I do believe, like in that case, Linus is helping other animals maybe cross Rainbow Ridge. And it makes me think that your earlier dog was doing the same. And we actually had on GhostBox, remember Adam, that person who said that he had a dream that his dog was helping other animals cross.
Yeah. I do remember that. That was when we did, I think it was one of the pet reading episodes.
Yeah. So it was one of the Casual Fridays where we asked about pets, and that was a tearjerker. It really was.
Most of the pet ones are.
Yeah, they generally are. And it's so funny because I didn't ask anyone to talk to me about their pets, and they pretty much all have been about pets, which I think says a lot right there. Mm-hmm. Jenny says, this past week, I've had dreams of my mom and her and sister and dog in one dream who passed, then dreamt of a shadow against my bedroom wall. There you go. Let's see, going over to my page, GhostBox page, see if there's anyone there. I know Faith left a message here. Let's see if we can read that real fast. Faith says, yes, my parents have visited me in my dreams. Also, my grandmother visited me from time to time. I smell her perfume in my house. Oh, well, that's a huge one right there. That really is. That's great.
One thing I wish we had to paranormal investigate with. Something that can pick up smells.
Oh, yeah.
That would be amazing, because if they don't have the energy to leave an EVP or go through a spirit box, the smell seems to be the next big thing. And I think that would be the perfect invention for the paranormal field.
I know that when we were at the Pillsbury Club and we split up into two groups, the group I was in, suddenly we picked up the smell of cherry tobacco, which I thought was really interesting. I thought that was really interesting. Joshua adds, not recent, but in December 2019, I was almost killed in a car accident. My goodness. I blacked out and woke up to see my brother, who died a year and a half earlier, and told me not to leave mom, who will be 80 in November. So, wow. I mean, look at that. I mean, and that's the thing about those dreams is it's not only there's one thing if you have a dream about a loved one showing up, just like standing there or something. It's the other dreams that they're telling you what, they're giving you messages and giving you advice and telling you not yet and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I find very interesting. I love that. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, and they always seem to show up too when you're going through the toughest times, at least in my interactions with past friends and loved ones who have gone on to the other side. Because oddly enough, of recent, it hasn't been any of my family members who have shown up in my dreams or anything. It was a guy named Gary I used to work with at AT&T. He's been, like, the last couple of times I've dreamt of people who have passed, it's been Gary.
Well, and I think Paul McCartney said it best: when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. And he wasn't talking about the Virgin Mary,
Exactly.
talking about his own mother. So yeah, it's pretty, and it's just very true. That's what it is. And like you said, they know when you need to see them, and that's super, super important. We're already running to the end of Friday here, coming to another end of a successful week. I hope everybody had fun tonight, or got some really great stories. Thank you all who had answered for question of the week. It's fantastic. Thank you, Rob, once again for the dedication. It was beautiful, and it means the world to me. Thank you. And it even means more knowing that Linus had to kind of get you back in shape there. So that makes me happy, very happy, actually. Adam, thank you very much for everything, as always. Greatly appreciate it. We will be back on Monday with Lynn Monet. We'll be talking about her most recent omnipresent book, Becca Dawn Drive. And everyone, have a safe weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Come see the trained chimp. It's the Matt McNeil